you very much, and welcome to part 2 here with Jenny Manion in the Dream Big Summit, creating a better life for yourself and the planet. For those who are just joining us, Jenny is a psychologist, having graduated from Penn State, and she is a contributing author to Huffington Post, was recently on PBS, the Whitney Reynolds Show. She's written a book called The Short Path to Change, which is the one you get for free, the first chapter of if you click up here, as well as you'll get a 9-minute short guided meditation towards inner healing. Please listen to the first segment. It'll give you the head start as to what we're going to dive in now. Her healing story is miraculous. How she got there, all the steps she told us in the first segment of the interview. So thank you very much, Jenny, for being back here in segment number 2.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I see behind you, you have an altar.
I do have an altar. It represents...
Who's all on there?
I have Lakshmi, who brings in abundance. I have Ganesh, who takes away all blocks and restrictions. I have Isis, who is just pure magic and love to me, the embodiment of that feminine, strong warrior energy, but also love. And then Buddha. And I love Buddha too. And I have gifts here. This was given to my shaman teacher from my shaman teacher friend who passed. Mm-hmm. So it's very special. So I have things that are very special here too, and my selenite wand. Mm-hmm. And these are goblets that are also candle holders given to me by one of my best friends. Mm. So there are things that are sentimental to me, and there are things that embody power to me and connection.
And I feel a lot of the people I know across the planet, wherever I go to their house, they all have little altars. I mean, in Bali, everybody has an altar in their house. But, it's like at home, most of the people that I interact with, they have a place, they can't help it, but they have a place of reverence, a place of symbolism that says this is the other dimension. So I encourage everybody, and that's why I picked up on that for you. I encourage everybody to create your own sacred space, create something that symbolizes the higher dimensional world, the divine. To start feeling like filling your mind with it when you see it. So Jenny, I would love to have you talk to us about one of your miracle stories of your clients where you were able to go and what modalities, whatever you used, and how that came about, the healing and transformation.
Yeah, I mean, there have been a few. I mean, there was one with just the energy work. Actually, I was given a client who didn't believe any of this, was a strict Catholic or a strict Baptist down south. And a good friend of hers from high school had connected with her and found out she was terminally ill with cancer, diagnosed with a couple of months to live, very depressed. And she was basically told she had 3 months to live. So this friend got her a session and said, she warned me, she's like, okay, she's, not really into this and she needs to talk to you first. She might, and when I talked to her, she had a lot of fear in her. Is your work of the devil? No, my work is of light. I was sick too. This is all about light and love. This is about the pure potential, your body, bringing itself into balance with this energy work. So we had a session and it was very interesting because I heard back from her friend. She had a hard time communicating with me after, but I found out from her friend what happened. During her session, which was 45 minutes, she went into a deep sleep. She slept for 3 hours and she did not believe in past lives, but she had past life dreams, reoccurrences. She saw herself as every different nationality. So suddenly she knew she was not alone, or Baptist wasn't the only way. There are many different ways. She saw herself and she saw the moment. She saw really great, joyous moments in her life. And she was shown the moment where she contracted cancer. And it was her child was sexually abused by her boyfriend. And she carried that guilt. And she carried that guilt so much that it became a disease. And during that healing, she was basically guided to let go of that guilt, that angst towards herself, and to forgive herself. Mm-hmm. And she was completely healed of all cancer.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
So nailing it down to that, but she also, yeah, wow, that is amazing. Nailing
Yeah.
it down to the cause. I mean, Dr. Hammer, bless his heart, he was persecuted in Europe, in Germany, but he had done all these CAT scans of brain, CTs of the brain, and he found that it was a moment in time where people had an issue that they didn't transform, or that lodged itself where they didn't do the emotional work, that then caused the corresponding cancer in various parts of the body. He could predict where that would be. And when Tad James did timeline therapy, where people like you who go and help people locate that moment in time and then do the necessary healing around that, that creates the miracle. That is a story of hope.
Yes, it is. Yes,
And
it is. And this woman had no beliefs. So many people, when they come to me, they're like, do I have to believe? No, you don't have to. You know, it is really about being open and feeling worthy of receiving. That's a big one too. You know, sometimes people they're beating themselves up too much, you know, but she was shown that she could forgive herself. You know, this was not her fault. You know, she didn't ask for this to happen. And, you know, there have been other cases where I actually had a client who had a week to live. She was given a week to live. And when she found me, she was looking for a trial, but of this one particular drug that she felt could heal her. And she's a very spiritual Native American woman.
yeah.
She felt this could heal her, but it was only across the country. And they said she wasn't well enough to make the trip. And she was a mom of a 5-year-old son with hyperactivity issues. The father was absent and not a very nice person. So she had this in her mind. She had to live for her son. So when we started doing the energy work, within a week, actually within a couple of days, she found out that one energy thing was that one medicine she felt could heal her was coming to like within an hour of her. Wow. And she could, you know, get into that study. And we did the Akashic work, and we were able to cut the cords and the hooks with this guy, you know, abusive ex that she had, you know, to start to heal and start to forgive herself. And she is over a year cancer free now.
Right. So do you attribute the inner work she did, that you did with her, as part of the reason why the medicine came from a week's travel away to 1 hour travel away?
Yes. I think that the reconnective healing really does reconnect. I've heard so many like synchronistic, someone I didn't talk to for 20 years walked into my, you know, life a day after, you know, and the intention was a job, and they walked into my life with a job. It's about, we are all connected, but we build these blocks. We have these, you know, barriers and limits, just self-limiting thoughts.
So when we release and transform these limits, time-space around us changes to where the medicine is transported to within reach of our hands or whatever. She just had to give a little extra help. I mean, it's almost like opening your palm of your hands, you know? It's almost like saying, okay, I'm ready. And then it comes when you transform your internal state. And that's exactly, I mean, that is the message. It's like we transform within, the world outside of us transforms.
Absolutely. And it is amazing. And some people do get a little scared when they see how fast they can manifest. I've seen clients like manifest really fast and almost take a step back, because it is almost scary how powerful they are, you know, and that inner dialogue starts coming into. But if we are loving of ourselves, we know we deserve the best. We're not meant to suffer. You know, we're meant to live our best lives. And that doesn't mean, so many times people will find, okay, I found the perfect relationship. That means my job is going to be horrible or something else. We are meant to live every aspect of our life in joy, you know, and the more we clear those limiting beliefs and the stuff from our past, and sometimes stuff from the past lives too will help facilitate that change, the more we can step into the reality of who we are, which is totally unlimited being.
Yes. And that's exactly what I've done in my entire life. And it does take practice. You have to build believable bubbles of joy around you to which you get used to. And then you can take another step, you know. It's like, I liken it to this rubber band. We don't want to stretch ourselves to where we retract to our normal, you know, let's get slowly wear that rubber band out.
I like that. I like that analogy a lot. Yeah, that's absolutely true.
and it works. It works.
It does work.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
does work.
we get used to having a good life. We get used to having joy in all aspects. But like you said, we have to, otherwise we might get scared. We just have to get used to the power of thought,
Yeah.
because we
Yeah.
have to also
And
trust.
and when we're ready too. I mean,
Yeah.
I know that right after healing myself, I heard a voice say, "Time to look at your marriage." And I was like, "Nope,
Oh,
can't do it." Like I wasn't ready
oh,
because I had
really?
just healed physically.
Yeah.
I was not ready to go there. I didn't feel strong enough
Yeah.
to go there. About a year later, after feeling strong, I was able to go
Okay.
there, and I realized, okay, this is not in my highest good,
You
and
guys
was
might.
starting to look at that and work on that. And we couldn't work on it, but we resolved it peacefully. We're
Mm-hmm.
friends, we co-parent, it's
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
But being patient with yourself too. Maybe there's one area right now that needs to come first. For me, it was my health and work, knowing I could financially support myself if I
Yes.
left,
Yes.
and my kids, so
Exactly. You need to build
just,
a foundation.
yes. So
Okay.
just trusting yourself and trusting the journey. If we start to think of everything at once, we can become very overwhelmed
Yep.
and self-sabotage, and it just seems too much and we feel disempowered. Take a step at a time.
Right.
Focus on one area of your life. Maybe it's your job right now. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's your inner circle of friends, or where you're living.
Right.
But, if we start to focus on one or two at a time, it feels bearable. It doesn't feel so overwhelming. And
Right.
we'll just get more and more comfortable asking for the world after a while.
Exactly. When things start accumulating, getting better and better, you
Yes.
go like, okay, I can handle this goodness.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Yeah. And I know that, personally, my life looks nothing like it did 10 years ago, but it was building it slowly. And I couldn't find the love of my life until I healed all my inner stuff,
Right.
and knowing that that's a journey too. And that's a good thing, not rushing into something else, but
Right.
being willing to do that inner work and love yourself enough to give yourself time to heal.
I love, you know how many of the speakers here, very potent people of all walks of life, point out that it all takes time. Take your time.
Yes.
It's like it's like, I mean, we want to have this one magic bullet or button that we can push to make everything go boom. And if we wanted to, we could, but the part of us that can't keep up with that sudden change would go like, who's that anyways?
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if you stood next to yourself and was like, walked right in. It's like, who am I?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, so it's amazing. Like I just had a client actually recently that was pretty amazing. She was told from a child that she was mentally ill. And she is deeply spiritual. So when we went into the Akashic records to switch that script a little bit and be like, yes, you're empathic. That's why you're feeling other people's emotions. Yes, instead of you're bad, you don't fit into the box and you're ill.
Right.
It's, what, you're actually really gifted, and this woman now is suddenly around spiritual people, joined spiritual groups. She's just signed up for massage school. She's reborn because she knows that she's not those limits that people told her whole life.
That is beautiful. And we need people like all the speakers who hold that otherness, who dare to be outside of the box, who say, look, it's quite beautiful out here. Come on out of that cave.
It is. It's restricting in there. You don't want to be in there.
Yeah, it's like Plato's cave, it's like, come on out. Look at this light out here. and so can you walk us through, I know we've promised people, can you walk us through a process to where we can maybe come out of our proverbial cave, whatever that is? And for me, even though I've done my decades of work, I always have a place where I can grow out of into something greater.
Yes, and always... I would love to offer a guided meditation to an anchoring moment, because that is a very powerful tool to bring us to joy. And we're always beating ourselves up, but this tool brings us perfectly into a joyful moment. In a few minutes, I'll show you how to do that.
Okay.
So how I begin every session, because some people don't necessarily feel their energy bodies. So how I bring every session up is to start rubbing your hands together, because it's a good way to feel energy, even if you've never felt energy before. And close your eyes and invite a light a gentle smile as you're rubbing your hands together. Just feel the warmth. Just become very present in your body. Give yourself gratitude for being here in this moment. Notice your breath. You don't have to change it. You could just notice if it's feeling rapid or you feel like you're not breathing. Just kind of set that intention that I would like to breathe slowly and deeply. And when you're ready, you can put your hands either a couple inches apart and feel that energy. It's really beautiful when you feel that energy for the first time. You know that you're more than your body. You've kind of awakened the energy body within you. It's fun. You can be childlike, have a smile on your face, be like, ooh, cool. Because the more we tap into that inner child, the more just in love we are, and the more in the present moment we are. Kids just live in that present moment of energy.
Yes.
And when you're ready, you can put your hands either lightly on your lap or on your heart, or you continue to hold them next to each other, whatever it is that makes you feel comfortable. If during this energy session you're not feeling energy anymore and want to, please feel free to rub your hands together again, because no one's judging you. This is all about just feeling love and feeling good. I would now like you to imagine a ball of light in your heart, and imagine all that energy you felt. Feel that filling your heart. Give yourself gratitude for being here. And I'd like to, as you picture that ball in your heart, think about someone that you really love. Someone that really makes you smile. Could be someone from the past, it could be a pet, could be someone that you think about, you just feel all love. And I want you to feel that love in your heart and picture yourself telling that person that you love them, and feel that reciprocated. And if it's an animal, you can feel them cuddling up against you, getting cozy. Just feel that love returned. Now I'd like you to imagine that white ball of light going up from your heart to your throat, to your chin and mouth, which invites a smile, to your nose and mouth, the top of your head. And it's going to come down as it soothes you, relaxes you. It's taking away any negativity as it goes down your body, down your face, down your throat, down your heart, down your stomach, down your groin, all the way down your legs, knees, calves, and toes. Picture that ball of light just kind of glowing beneath your feet. We're going to ask Mother Nature to just transcend this into love. We're going to send that love down to the earth. And Mother Nature's so happy for that love that she starts sending energy back up. She sends it up to your feet. Feel the energy come up your legs, your knees, your thighs, your stomach, and it settles back into your heart. And as it's in your heart, I'd like you to bring in a memory, a really great memory. It can be anything from a walk in the woods where you felt wonderful. It can be doing something that you love, like dancing, or cooking. It can be a big event. Maybe it was your wedding. That was really spectacular. Could be a night out laughing with your friends. Whatever moment you can think of where you experienced pure joy and connectivity. And I want you to do more than think about that moment. I want you to imagine the people there, the surroundings, what it smelled like, what it sounded like, and most importantly, what did it feel like to you? What did it feel like to be in that moment of joy and connectivity? I want you to give yourself so much love for connecting to this memory. So many times we can replay the negative, but we don't take this time to replay these positive, beautiful moments. And I'd like you to think of maybe a word associated with this moment. If it's a walk in the woods, you could say woods. If it's your wedding day, you can say wedding. Some word that just means something to you when you think about this moment, to bring this moment back. I want you to relive that moment one more time, just thinking about how much it made you smile, how connected you felt, what joy, how joyful life can be. When we're in these moments, we're paying gratitude and acknowledging that joy. We're telling ourselves that we've felt joy before and we're going to feel joy again, and how beautiful it is to be living on this planet. I want you to send love to yourself for remembering this beautiful moment. I want you to send love to that person that you thought of in the beginning of this, and how wonderful they felt receiving that love from you, and how they told you they loved you too, how they expressed it. Just know that in any moment, you could take a couple of moments and just go to the space of love. And when you're ready, you can just kind of bring yourself to the present moment, wiggle your fingers and toes, invite a smile on your face, and open your eyes.
So you're saying that's a good baseline exercise to evoke positive love-filled sensations and fill us with the refocusing, really refocusing on what works.
Yeah, and the more you do that, why I had you come up with a word, is the more you do that, say you're stuck in traffic and you say that word to yourself, it'll bring in that relaxation. So it's an anchoring moment. It can be even, you're putting your fingers together and thinking about that moment. Something that connects you to that moment, so that when you are, maybe not feeling so happy, you can bring in that moment almost instantaneously. And even, what we did was a short exercise, just a couple of minutes. And again, we can
created so much positive feelings already. I just a little bit of time spent like this already generates so many positive chemicals and neurotransmitters. Yes. They're all effective healers, healing agents.
Absolutely. And we know that if we have a bad moment in the day, we will replay that thing 100 times.
No, but we scratch that. I don't.
In the past, yes, a lot of people will replay that 100 times, but we have the power to just let that go and to replay the positive moments, to really honor ourselves and allow ourselves to relive those good moments over and over. Reliving the bad moments, we're not going to be able to change them. We're just going to give ourselves more grief. It's not really constructive to do that. We want to make ourselves feel empowered and not disempowered. So it is really important to bring in those positive moments. Lay in bed and bring in your anchoring moment before you go to sleep. You go to sleep with a smile on your face. In the shower, if you're stressing about your day, bring in that anchoring moment and set some positive intentions, and know that you have experienced joy, and you will experience joy again.
And actually, that is really how we open the pathway to connect with our soul. When we open that light, that love, that's like you described how you'd felt disconnected, right? Then all these exercises before when you were sick, you'd felt disconnected. And then that's how you actually opened your channel to your own soul, didn't you?
Yes, it is. It is just that the gratitude, the presence is the most important, because we have to be not in our old story. We have to be in this moment. That's where all the power lies. And what am I thinking? What am I creating right in this moment? And not repeating any stories, because we can tell ourselves stories, but we can create a new story. But it has to be from awareness, from this moment.
Right. And actually, the greater we become as a channel, the more love and light comes through us. But again, it takes us getting used to it, getting used to that, stabilizing the expansion slowly.
Yes. Yeah. Because we are human. We will have those egoic moments. Oh, this is too good to be true. When's the other shoe going to drop? Those kind of things. Right. Or self-sabotage, but if we do grow gradually, it is more accepting. We do let more and more love in, and we're more comfortable stepping up and out of our comfort zone. We know it's safer, even though, it's out of my comfort zone right now. I was okay last time I did it, so, I can do this again. So building up that self-confidence. And a lot of times it is undoing a lot of the restrictions we've been told by other people, not even necessarily our own story, but
the family belief
or teacher. Parent, teacher. I know I grew up, my dad telling me I was too sensitive, so that affects you. You think, I'm too sensitive, but that's one of my biggest gifts is that I'm sensitive and feel energy and feel other people's emotions. So reframing things, starting to look at it and not blaming someone, because they told you that thing or did that thing. That's from their own frame of reference. That's their story,
Right.
and that's what they know, but taking control of your life now and knowing that you are creating your story and your reality.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And then when people start going into reconnecting to their soul, you guide people into that, right?
Yes.
What do people describe? I'm sure everybody is different how they experience their soul. What do people describe uh, their different stages? Do you find, like Dr. Michael Newton wrote a book on the journeys of soul,
I
and
love that book.
isn't
I
that
love
awesome?
that book. That's one of my favorites. Yeah, I love that book.
Yeah, I would recommend everybody to read that book. So what I took away from there is like how we all are at different stages of
Yes.
evolution of soul awareness. Some
Yeah,
people,
and
go.
it's not, and that is challenging. That's one of my favorite quotes is Dr. Deepak Chopra, you must realize everyone's doing the best they can from their own state of consciousness.
Yes, yes.
You would not expect a toddler to know what an elder knows,
Right.
and it's the same thing. There's no judgment.
Right.
We're all on different parts of that path.
Yeah.
And it can become challenging because we could shake our heads and be like, how can they not understand that, or
Yes.
whatever. But if you come from that loving point, and I can be the example for myself, for the people around me, I cannot change anyone. I cannot drag anyone along their path. And it doesn't serve me to get angry about where they are on their path.
Right.
Just loving and respecting, sending them love. But also on this path, I've lost a lot of people. We do step up. As we step up, we do want to be around similarly minded people. Sometimes it will mean saying goodbye. Sometimes hopefully you can say hello again at another point in your life, but loving yourself enough to know that you might have to step away from a couple of people. It's not the worst thing in the world. You're making room for others. And if you want to be vibrating higher, you're going to be around people that are vibrating higher and are on similar paths. It doesn't mean you discount everyone, but there's healthy boundaries. There's seeing people less. And there's really that intention of who do I want to spend my time with? Who do I leave feeling inspired and great around? Not that we don't all have bad days, but if you feel like you're giving your energy, 80% of the time in a relationship, that's not a healthy relationship.
Exactly. We need to be on similar levels. How else can we merge to make a new cocoon that really blossoms?
Yes.
It's a genesis of two people of similar capacities, different in style, but similar capacity. I love how you said you wouldn't be angry with a toddler for not knowing the ABC. You wouldn't be upset with the first grader for not knowing algebra.
Yeah.
It's like, and you wouldn't expect your own self to know as much as maybe whatever a doctorate in physics. You kind of like take your space within the tapestry of the whole universe and allow everybody to be their perfect part. And our resonance draws the right people in. So we need to look at why are these people in there? What can I do to help the situation?
Yeah. And sometimes it means walking away. That's the hard thing is, and I know that part of it, the journey caused me a lot of angst and pain because I do love, and it steps in, am I being judgmental? Am I, but it's about protecting yourself, loving yourself enough to know what's best for you now, and detaching in love. You don't have to detach in anger.
Right.
You can detach in love for now. And maybe your paths will cross again this lifetime, next lifetime, who knows? But everyone comes up into your life for a reason.
Exactly. Like my ex-husband, for example. He was beautiful. He helped me in so many ways to get the right books to get started on the spiritual path. He was not the right person for me to continue with. I would have worn him out. I would have just been too much. But we are great friends, and I love his loyalty. I love his dependability. I love his clear-headedness. His just, he lives, he walks his talk. He's into simplicity. He has nothing to his name. He doesn't want anything to his name. When we helped build him a house, he sold it because he said, I'm so sorry, but it's not me. I can't own a house, But, it wasn't my match, it wasn't my mate. It wasn't the one I could grow and create
Exactly.
miracles with it. Yeah.
Exactly. And loving, no, not settling, like not,
Yeah.
you're not settling for something you feel, okay, well, he's good enough, or, whatever.
Exactly.
There's no good enough. It's, I mean, when I left my husband, I'd written a 2-page list of everything I wanted. My friends would joke about it. Oh yeah, right, Jenny, you'll find someone like that. I found someone, every single thing on that list and more.
Really?
And I did not settle one thing. But and we're moving in together tomorrow. I mean, he is the love of my life, and he allows perfect expansion. And I blessed my husband for the path we had and the children we have, and I'm so grateful that we have that friendship still. But I would not have been I would not be who I am today. I would not have been able to further develop. And I feel like he's met his perfect love match too, and the kids have seen what love is, and what love can come in different ways, and they see us both very happy. And so many times, like, I hear people will leave, I'll leave when the kids leave. Well, I don't know if you're doing anyone any favors if you're arguing and putting it out there that you should be miserable. Loving yourself enough to know you deserve to be happy.
Yes. And giving yourself, like you did, time to grow, to become the person who's deserving of that list that you had written.
Yeah. It was funny, like, actually right after I wrote the list, it wasn't the whole list yet. Like, I manifested someone and I was like, whoa, I left a lot off that list, but it was also in me too. Like, I hadn't healed parts of me.
Right.
To gain the perfect wisdom of what I needed and what I wanted and what I didn't want, and put that in a positive form. And dating gave me different things to cross off and write on the list, and just thinking about past relationships and friendships and what do I need to heal in myself to be able to feel worthy to step into this relationship.
Awesome. My God, we're coming on the end of my half hour here.
It was best.
Oh, man. You are. And you know what I love about the way you talk is, you live every single thing. You've come from the worst to get to the bright side. You help other people do it now. And you really, it's like, if she can do it, we can do it.
Yeah.
And you're very practical in everything you say. I feel this encouragement and doability in everything you say. It's like I grok it, I love listening to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And that's what I just want to really tell people. It doesn't have to be that hard. The hardest part is loving yourself enough to say, okay, I'm going to make this commitment to myself to try something different, to start talking to myself different, to use a couple of these tools, to envision my life as I want it. So many times when I get a client, what do you want to be happy? What does that look like? I have no idea. Just to be happy. So to really
start small.
Yeah. And own it. You deserve it, and the more you work on yourself, the more you're going to bring in goodness and make sure you celebrate every single step. You deserve it.
Awesome. Jenny, you have a very special offer, which we will have right here below us is a sales button to your offer page. Now, can you tell us a bit about it?
Yes, it's going to actually be a combination of different things with me. We will be able to do a guided Akashic journey. So I will take you to actually talk to your guides and be able to get access. And again, we'll do an energy session. We'll do a setting intentions session. So we can it's really about catalyzing change as quickly as possible to start seeing results.
Awesome.
To create that in your life. And then
how many hours are we talking? It sounds like a package, a session.
Yeah, it is a package. It'll be about 5 hours with me, and it'll be really wonderful, time connecting, and
cool.
I just take you through it, and I'll give you tools, we'll give support, and I've just seen a lot of people really benefit from a month's long work with me and doing these different tools, letting go of the stuff in the Akashic records, bringing in that energy, and also using the mind-body tools. I use some of the tools in my book with you so that you can transcend that energy.
Awesome. And what's the price, the special offer?
$798. So that is a very special offer.
Awesome. What's the special offer versus what is it normally?
That would be over $1,000. So
Okay.
it is, yeah, it is very significantly
Thank you.
reduced.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're trying to get speakers to give things and to invite people to make the next step so people actually have some place to really go step, find a place and a person who helps them and guides them into a next level of evolution. I mean, we have all the free things and we can do
Yeah.
it all alone, but if you feel like you'd like to have help, that's what I like, is being able to see and feel people and say, yes, that person, she's got it. So I thank you very, very, very much for this
Oh, thank
special,
you so
auspicious interview. Oh,
much.
thank
Thank you
you.
so much. It was such a joy to speak with you.
Yes. All right. So thank you.
Mwah. Thank you too.
Okay. Bye bye. Namaste.
Bye.